Cultivating awareness of that which quote unquote trigger your emotions and big feelings is a giant leap in your transformation journey. Welcome to the Seeds of Growth podcast. My name is Pumihana Palmer. I'm a mindset and growth coach to new real estate agents, small business owners, and high-achieving female entrepreneurs. I believe that true success happens from the inside out, and I'm on a mission to plant seeds of growth and transformation, one powerful conversation at a time. Each week, I'll bring you a solo episode, interview, or coaching experience with business owners just like you to help you shift your perspective, elevate your beliefs, and build a business that inspires you. Now let's dive into today's episode. What's up, friends? Welcome to the very first episode of Two for Tuesday. I am super excited to bring this to you because this is an adaptation of the newsletter that I have been putting out for almost a year. So every Tuesday, I put out and I send out an email newsletter, if you will, with just 2 quotes, 2 coaching prompts, and 2 affirmations to keep you moving forward. And my intention with this newsletter was to give you a little hit of mindset goodness in the week. Now, I know everybody has the loads of promotional emails, work emails coming through, and all I wanted to do was just spread a little bit of goodness in the week to break up the bullshit, if you will. So I decided to adapt this to my podcast and share this with you on a different platform. So again, here's my 2 for Tuesdays for you with 2 quotes, 2 coaching questions, and 2 affirmations to keep you moving forward. Hope you enjoy it. Now, your 2 fers this week are on cultivating awareness through noticing triggers. This is a fun one. But before we dip our toes in these waters, it's important for me to note that I am not a therapist. I'm not a psychologist or a mental health expert. I am not trained or classically trained in these fields, nor do I give medical advice in this capacity. I am simply sharing from my own personal experiences and the tools that I've used and have found to be helpful to facilitate growth. So, cultivating awareness of that which quote unquote trigger your emotions and big feelings is a giant leap in your transformation journey. And introspection is the key to reverse engineering your current reality and then in turn designing and living out your future reality. Our first quote comes from Crystal Raypole in her article, What It Means to Be Triggered. Crystal says, in mental health terms, a trigger refers to something that affects your emotional state, often significantly by causing extreme overwhelm or distress. A trigger affects your ability to remain present in the moment, and it may bring up specific thought patterns or influence your behavior. Now, I think it's important to clearly define what a trigger is because some people don't quite know what it is, or they might feel some type of way, but they don't have the language to really understand it. But that's what a trigger is. It's something in your exterior. Well, not always, actually. It's just something. It could be a thought, a memory, or it could be exterior, something that someone else says or does that elicits a significant response within your emotional state. Your second quote comes from Byron Katie, author Byron Katie. She says, peace doesn't require 2 people. It only requires 1. It has to be you. The problem begins and ends there. And so your 2 coaching prompts are this. Think back to a time you felt overwhelmed and anxious. Put yourself back into that situation when you are comfortable and in a safe space. Please don't do this while you are driving or anything like that. When you are at home and when you are in a comfortable and safe space. Put yourself back into that situation by bringing to mind where you were, who you were with, and what was around you. I want you to drop into your body as you remember this moment. Think about what area of your body feels activated. Tune in to your physical body. Is there pressure in your chest? Is there a deep pit in your stomach? How's your breathing? Is it short or shallow? Are you even breathing, or are you holding your breath? It's so interesting because sometimes we don't realize that we're doing these things, but I want you to simply notice these sensations, what's going around you, and nothing else. Just notice them. Secondly, how did you respond while you were feeling these strong feelings? What were your thoughts? Was there a certain narrative that came up? Was there an emotion that came up? Are you able to label those things? Now, here's a little coaching nudge for you. I want you to resist the temptation to rationalize and start to find meaning behind why you did what you did. As humans, we always want to know why, but now is not the time for that. Now is simply the time to practice being aware. And your true affirmations for this exercise are, I'm committed to my emotional and mental health. And when I sit in observation, I neutralize the power of the situation and I take it back for myself. I'm committed to my emotional and mental health. And when I sit in observation, I neutralize the power of the situation and I take it back for myself. Thank you so much for joining me. I will see you next week in your next 2 for Tuesdays. Aloha. Thanks so much for listening. If this episode served you, please do me a small favor and head to your favorite podcast platform to rate and review the show. Your small act will play an exponential role in getting these powerful conversations out into the world. Be sure to connect with me on Instagram at @PumeHanaPalmer and DM me with your insight and takeaways. See you next time. Aloha.